Now the SQL language has got a very cool feature called subqueries. Let's have a look at subqueries. You've seen previously the use of a function called substring. So a substring is a string within a larger string. A subquery is a similar idea. It's a query within a larger query. And folklore suggests that the name structured query language came from this ability to nest queries, smaller queries, within larger queries. Let's have a look at subqueries. Now all of the comparisons that we've looked at so far have always involved two values, one value on the left of the comparison operator and one value on the right. Remember that the where clause is evaluated once for each customer row here. So we take the customer row, we pop the state value in here and compare it with the string QLD. Now in this query here we're comparing a state value with a set of state values on the right of an in operator. Now this operator is a set inclusion operator, so we're testing if the value on the left appears in or is included in the set on the right. Now the cool thing about the in operator is that the values in the set on the right of in can be derived by a subquery. That's what we're doing in this example here. So here we're saying interest in the details of customers where their CID is in this set of CID values. The CID values in the sales order table. So what will that query tell us? Well, it'll tell us, give us details of customers with one or more sales order. And we can also say I'm interested in customers where their CID value is not in that set of CID values. So customers with 0 sales orders. Now the great power of subqueries is that you can nest them to any number of levels. Or at least, well, in practice every database engine will have some limit, but it will be fairly high, and but certainly in theory there's no limit. Now as you can see here, when we drop queries into SQL Server Management Studio that have been copied from the PDF viewer, we lose the formatting, which is a bit unfortunate. Having restored the format, let's have a look at this subquery. It produces the following result: a set of SOID values. SOID values from the sales order product table for those rows where the number of items requested value is greater than 1. And then we say, okay, well let's go and find the CID value of sales orders where the SOID value of those sales orders is in that set of SOID values. Let's have a look at that. F5, set of CID values, and then we say, alright, I'm interested in details of customers with their CID value in that set of CID values. So details of customers with one or more orders with one or more requested products where the number of items requested is greater than 1. So customers who have requested more than one item of a particular product in an order. So nested subqueries, very powerful, very cool. Now just notice that the two subqueries that we have just examined in SQL Server Management Studio both produce a single set of values. That's a single column in the result. So when you're using in, you have to have a subquery that produces a single column in the result. Now you will sometimes come across the use of subqueries that produce more than one column in the result. Let's have a look at this query. It's a very cool query. Once again, we've lost all our formatting, so let's quickly restore it. Now what we're seeing here is the use of a subquery in the from clause. Interesting. So here we've got a subquery in the from clause of a query. Now that's interesting. All of the queries that we've seen so far have been simple queries. That is, queries where the from clause simply holds the name of a table. However, we have said that the from clause can be something a little bit more interesting. It can be any table valued expression. And what we're seeing here is a query where the from clause is a table valued expression. It's a subquery that evaluates to a table. A subquery that produces a table as a result. Now when you use a subquery in the from clause, you have to give it a name. So all tables that appear in the from clause need to have a name. So we have to give it a name using an as clause. So there we go. Very cool, very powerful. The use of subqueries in the from clause of a larger query. Notice also that this query uses some new functions, and these are called aggregate functions. Notice that the query produces only one row as a result. The subquery, so the from clause, produces it's a whole table, it's 4 rows, but the query itself produces only one output row. Why is that? Well, it's something to do with these functions, these aggregate functions. In the next section we'll have a closer look at functions, aggregate functions and scalar functions. Now with subqueries in the from clause, what we say in the study guide is that we will not be expecting you or asking you to formulate queries that require the use of a subquery in the from clause. However, the requirement for this course is that you can read and understand such queries. So have a look at example exercise 43 as an example of the kind of thing that we might expect you to be able to demonstrate. So that's subqueries. Very cool, very powerful. I hope that made sense.